All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Shooting Part Podcast. I think it's like episode 8, something like that at this point. We got a lot to talk about. 3 events this past weekend. Had the Travelers Championship for the PGA, the PGA Championship for the women's, and then Live Golf in Nashville. Got some golf news from this past week as well as a couple of upcoming events. So let's jump right into it. Let's start talking about it, eh? All right. So PGA Travelers Championship, TPC River Highlands, Cromwell, Connecticut. You had Justin Thomas, Akshay Bhatia, Patrick Cantlay, Tony Finau, all minus 18, tied for 5th. Sungjae M, Tom Hodge, minus 20, tied for 3rd. And then you had Tom Kim at minus 22, who came in 2nd. And then Scotty Scheffler gets the win, minus 22. So Scotty gets back in the win column after a great showing throughout the weekend and a playoff hole win against Tom Kim. Very impressive. Obviously fun to see another playoff hole. It's awesome to see these events going to a playoff hole. It was a great showing by Tom Kim. I felt terrible for him because he did make one mistake on his round on Sunday, but you know, it is what it is. Had a hell of a showing, put the pressure on Scotty, forced him all the way to a playoff hole. So he did everything he could. He did his best. So congratulations to him. But it is good to see Scotty back in the win column again. He's all over the place right now. He's getting arrested. He's shooting the worst he's ever shot. He's winning events. He's having kids. The guy's all over the place. So good to see him back there again. I doubt he'll play this weekend, but we'll have to wait and see. But for that last round, so Kim had a 1-stroke lead going into Sunday, and basically him and Scotty would just go at it the entire day. Holes 1 through 5, both of them ended up parring. Number 6, both of them ended up birdieing. Number 7 is the one that Scotty went ahead and birdied. Tom Kim parred, so it tied them up. And then number 8 was Scotty parred and Tom Kim bogeyed. And that held until the back 9, so giving Scotty a 1-stroke lead going into the back 9. Number 10, Tom Kim birdied, Scotty parred. And it stayed that way all the way up until the holes 13 through 15. So going into hole number 13, they're tied up. So 13 through 15, that 3-hole run there, Scotty birdied all 3 of those holes. Tom Kim birdied 13 and 15. He parred 14, giving Scotty a 1-stroke lead, and that would last all the way up until the 18th hole. On the 18th hole of regulation, Scotty parred it. Tom Kim was able to birdie, pushing them and forcing them into a playoff, so they went back, played 18 again. Number 18 again, not 18 holes. Scotty went ahead and parred number 18 again, while unfortunately for Kim, his second shot in the playoff hole landed him in a greenside bunker. His third shot to get him out was a half-decent shot. It did leave him with a long par putt, though. He ended up missing that, giving Scotty the championship. Again, hell of a tournament. A lot of fun to watch. The really cool thing that I saw was after Scotty won the tournament and Kim had lost it on that playoff hole, the first people to come up and congratulate Tom Kim was the Schefflers. It was his wife. It was his wife with the baby, and then his parents and everything. So I don't know if they're friends. I don't know what the whole dynamic is there, but awesome to see that they were the first ones to go up and congratulate him and, you know, tell him how great he did and everything. So awesome by the Schefflers, you know, top quality human beings right there. Again, I don't know if they're friends. I don't know the whole dynamic, but cool to see that they were the first ones to go ahead and congratulate him on having a hell of a tournament and putting that pressure on Scotty. I'm sure they would have been the first ones to congratulate him if he had won, if he had beat Scotty. I'm sure Scotty would have been the first one to congratulate him. So awesome to see. but congratulations to Scotty on getting back in the win column. Definitely good to see a number one getting back in the win column, and by a number one I mean a world number one. World number one on the women's side is not having as much success. We'll get into that later, but yeah, we'll touch on that one. So outside of Scotty, Tom Kim, and the other top five, there was the highlight of the week, which I'm giving to Cameron Young, who shot the lowest score that we've seen in a PGA event in 4 years. The guy was out of his mind on Saturday. He shot 59 in round 3, 7 birdies, 2 eagles, no bogeys. He holed out from 142 on the par 4 third hole, and then he also drove the green on the par 4 15th to within 5 yards and eagled that also. Didn't have a bogey. The guy was out of his mind. Go watch the highlights if you have the time, because that was one of the most impressive things I've watched in a long time. And just to see how locked in he was that day, like, you love to see it. Unfortunately for him, it didn't get him a top 5 finish. It didn't get him towards the top of the leaderboard, but that's still a hell of a round. To shoot 59 on a PGA event, and again, the lowest score that we've seen in 4 years at a PGA event. So, like, congratulations to him. Very exciting. Hopefully he where the fuck did that light just turn on? The fuck? Oh, hell nah. I forgot where I was at. Yeah, that was the craziest thing. Light in my living room literally just turned on, like, out of nowhere. Like, that's some fucking crazy shit. Alright. Sorry. Forgot where I'm at. Light in the living room literally just turned on out of nowhere. Craziest. I don't even know. I'm not even gonna read into it. But yeah. I don't know where I was at. Congrats to Cameron Young though. Hell of a day. Let's push forward. Let's get into the LPGA event, which was the KPMG Women's PGA Championship, Sahali Country Club, Sammamish, Washington. Lauren Hartledge, Ellie Ewing, -3, tied for 5th. Miyuho Yamashita, Jin Young Kim, Lily Vu, -4, tied for 2nd. Amy Yang, -7, wins the event. It's great for Amy Yang. She finally gets the major trophy that's been eluding her for her career, and from everything that I've read, everything that I've seen, couldn't have happened to a better person. Like, everything I've seen is, like, she's one of the nicest people, one of the best people in the world. Like, awesome. Finally gets to lift her major trophy, so super excited for her. Congratulations to her. Lauren Hartledge also played a great tournament. I know she ended up tied for 5th, but she had a great tournament. Kind of put her name out there that a lot of people didn't know about it before. And then obviously Lilia Vu, like, you know, coming back from the injury, winning the event a couple weeks ago, and now placing 2nd, like, amazing, great for her too. So all around, amazing LPGA event. They had a great showing as far as fans and everything, and viewership. So everything was amazing for them this past weekend. Outside of their world number one, obviously not showing up. She showed up to the event, not showing up skill wise. But let's recap that last day. So Yang began the day 7 under with a 2-stroke lead on Lauren Hartledge, and Yamashita. She began the day with a birdie to get to 8 under, and then at one point was as low as 10 under par. When she got to 10 under par, she had like a 5-6-stroke lead on everyone else in the field. So I think that kind of like secured the championship right there. But it just put a lot of pressure on everyone else trying to play hero ball. And then 2 doubles by Hartledge and a double by Yamashita, as well as a couple of bogeys in there. Gave room for error for Yang, which she did end up bogeying 16. She ended up double bogeying at 17. But in the end, it didn't matter. She still won the tournament by 3 strokes. So congratulations to her again. Hopefully she can stay at the top. Hopefully she can put a lot of pressure on Lilia Vu moving forward so that we can see some great golf out of the 2 of them. I would love to say that there's another person that we'd see up there, but with her missing the cut the last 3 tournaments, I really don't know what's going on with her. And again, we'll talk about that later. Let's go ahead and jump forward. We got Live Golf, Live Nashville, The Grove, Nashville, Tennessee, DeChambeau, John Rahm, Lee Westwood, Joaquin Neiman, all -12, tied for 5th. Tied for 3rd, 5th. I can't remember how it works. I think it's tied for 3rd, 5th-ish. Tied for 3rd, we'll go with. Sam Horsfield is at -13. He is in 2nd, and then Tyrell Hatton, -19, takes the win. For the team event, you had Stingers at -22 in 5th, Majestics -32 in 4th, Torque -34 in 3rd, Crushers -35 in 2nd, and Legion -40 takes the win. For those who don't know, Tyrell Hatton plays for Legion, so for Legion it was a clean sweep. Tyrell Hatton had 2 rounds of -6. The 1st and the 3rd, and then he had a clean 2nd round of -7, so no bogeys during that round. He played very well this tournament, along with John Rahm, to help bring home the team title for Legion, as well as the individual for himself. So it was a clean sweep for Legion and for the team in Nashville. So all around, great for them, great tournament for them. Personally, I thought it was going to be DeChambeau and Crushers if there was going to be a sweep this weekend. Thought he had so much momentum going into this. Thought there was no doubt that he was going to take this, but, you know, good for Tyrell. He did find himself in a peculiar, Jesus, I can't speak. Peculiar situation at one point, where he and Dustin Johnson had 2 fried eggs in the same bunker right next to each other. It was in a greenside bunker. I can't remember which hole. But it's something that I've never seen before, so if you have time, go look it up. Basically, the 2 fried eggs you had, for those who don't know what a fried egg is, look it up. I'm not explaining that to you. So just go Google golf fried egg and it should show you. But DJ's ball was basically right next to the edge of the bunker, and then about 3, 4, maybe 5 inches behind that, you had Tyrell's. Very weird to see, because in that situation, you're not normally able to lift clean in place and all that stuff. They had to get the rules out there. Apparently, DJ was able to lift and place it back where it was. Can't clean the ball or anything like that, and obviously can't, rake the bunker or anything, create yourself or give yourself a better lie or whatnot. But yeah, he was able to lift the ball, which again, it was very questionable. I've never seen that in all the years of me playing. Granted, that would mean that I had 2 players that were good enough to hit it in the same spot. But yeah, I've never seen that in my life where two balls are that close and both of them were fried eggs like that. Like, that's just insane. But Tyrell was able to get out. He probably had the better lie, if I'm being honest. He was a few inches back of the lip, so he was able to get out. He was pretty much unscathed on that hole. I mean, he won the tournament by, what, 6 strokes? Like, it didn't bother him, but it was just a cool thing to see. Again, very interesting, because you've never seen it before. So go look it up if you have the time. It was very interesting. And that's not the only interesting that happened. So, interesting thing that happened at Live Golf. I got 2 more on here for you. So, first one, you had Bryson, who was getting ready for a shot on the fairway. You know, he does his whole warm-up, you know, stretching out, getting the read, figuring out what club he wants to hit, all this happy stuff. And everyone's being respectful, everyone's being quiet. And as soon as he walks up to that ball, as soon as he steps to it, you know, he gets ready. Right as he starts his backswing, dog barks in the backswing. He was able to stop himself, step away from the ball, and kind of look to the crowd, throw his hands up, and laugh at it. He laughed it off, which is great, because the fans love that, because it's like, he just kind of gave him, like, the what can you do? Like, it's a dog. Everyone loves dogs. So, just, again, him kind of pandering to the fans, but it was cool to see. And, again, it was just so interesting, because, like, if you go watch the video, it's, like, 30, 40 seconds, you know, of him warming up where you don't hear anything. It's very quiet. And then right as he's ready to start his swing to actually hit the ball, dog barks. Like, it was crazy. Like, the timing of it was just, it was insane. It's almost like the dog knew. Obviously, the dog didn't know. But it's almost like the dog knew and was like, yeah, let me go ahead and bark right when this dude's about to hit his backswing. Sorry. Pretty sure the light in the bedroom turned on at the same time that this light turned on. I don't know. That's the craziest thing still. Alright. Next thing. So, again, with Bryson, this one I might be a little bit cynical on, but I don't really care. So, with this one, Bryson is on the par 3 15th. Him and his caddy are sitting there discussing how they want to attack the hole, you know, which club to hit, trying to look at slope of the green, the wind, where the pin placement is, all that stuff. While they're doing that, Liv's CEO, Greg Norman, storms the green, as the reporters put it. He didn't storm the green, he walked out onto the green. First of all, he's the CEO. CEO is not going to storm the green, because the CEO can do whatever they want. But anyway, he stormed the green, according to them. Basically walked out onto the green, walked up to the pin, and started to tend the pin, which, those who don't know, tending the pin is basically what a caddy does when, you know, you're closer to the hole and the ball potentially has a chance to go in. So what they do is they tend the pin so that you can see where the hole is, see where you want to aim, and if the ball gets close to the hole, they'll pull the pin out so that it can drop in. So he did that. Bryson turned around, basically looked at him, threw his hands up, like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on? Yeah. Listen. I'm a Live Golf supporter. I'm really just a golf supporter, if I'm being honest. But I do support Live Golf. Bryson has grown on me. And I think because he's grown on me, Live Golf has grown on me a lot. And I get where Greg Norman was coming from. It's a nod to how well Bryson has been playing. He just won the U.S. Open. He's the biggest star in Live right now. Let's be honest. He's probably the biggest star in golf. Definitely not the biggest star in America. I'll get to that in a little bit of who the biggest star in America is. But at the moment. But Bryson's the biggest star in golf right now. And again, this is a nod to how well he's been playing. of like, it doesn't matter how far he is, like he's gonna hit the ball in the hole no matter what. I understand that, I get it. This was such an idiotic thing and so like the stupidest thing I've seen. And like I almost don't want to mention their CEO's name, Greg Norman, because like the thing that he's known for the most is blowing the major or blowing the Masters in 1996, one of the most historic collapses in sports history. You don't believe me? Go look up that 1996 Masters where he blew up and where it was a catastrophe. The Florida Panthers almost were compared to him until they turned around and actually won it last night. So, like, dude, that's what you're known for, and you're walking out and, like, creating this, like, doing this whole shenanigans. Like, what are we doing, dude? Like, it was so dumb, so stupid. You are a former professional golfer. You know better than do shit like this. Like, what are we doing? So, I don't know. To me, I understand the point of it. I understand where they're coming from. It's on brand with, like, golf is fun. Like, with Live, where they're like, golf is fun, golf is this, golf is that. This almost discredits them, though, to where, like, it's getting to the point where it's not, like, this shit's just dumb. This isn't, like, we're having fun. Like, this is just idiotic. Like, he literally is stepping on the green in front of a player about to hit his tee shot. Like, distracting the player from hitting his tee shot. Like, idiotic, stupid, dumb. One of the dumbest things I've seen. If you want, go watch the video. Go read about it. You can have your own opinion on it. I'm going to tell you mine. Stupid. Greg Norman, you're an idiot. Easy. Done. All right. Next thing. Definitely a more positive note for Liv. This was Liv's highest attendance domestically, breaking the record they had previously set at Liv Washington, D.C. last year. Funny thing is, Liv Washington, D.C. actually was held at the course that I was working at that time. So I was able to work that event. Got to meet a lot of the guys. That's where I made a few of my contacts within Liv. Got to interact with a few of the players and whatnot. One of them being BRYSON. That's where I had my infamous interaction with him where, let's just say it wasn't the best. I think you can go check out the first episode of this podcast and I talk about my interaction with him. I've told a lot of people my interaction with him. Like, you know, it was mixed at that time because, again, I will say I understood that, you know, why he was doing it because he was working his ass off and he's a hard worker, but, like, he was kind of a dickhead about it. So it's like, it's a whole mixture of things. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. That's not why I'm mentioning this. Just the point is, I was there that time. So this week they went ahead and they actually broke that record for attendance. It's impressive. You know, they're setting records and they're going to keep breaking them, in my opinion. I think every week they're going to keep breaking them, especially when you have a guy like Bryson DeChambeau winning a major the week before, which is what I said last week. I said Liv was going to get more and more popular because he made this win, because he had that win. Don't believe me? Go look at the numbers. Liv Golf Nashville was set to do well. They were set to be high attendance. After Bryson won the U.S. Open, they had a surge in ticket sales, which is why they sold out every day. Sold out every ticket of every day. Mind you, this isn't, you know, a whole bunch of ground passes. Like, they have a whole bunch of these, like, party on the 15th, the 18th hole, the 54 club, like, all these different things going on that they're expensive-ass tickets. They sold out every one. Every single one. for every day. And again, they had that surge in ticket sales after Bryson won the U.S. Open. They had a surge in merchandise sales online after Bryson won the U.S. Open. They just broke their record for merchandise sales in the first 2 days of this past event. So on the first 2 days of this past event, set the record for merchandise sales for themselves for any other event. Every other event had 3 days. They had a whole nother day to push that number even higher. Like, they knocked it out of the park. They absolutely killed it. The fans were there. Like, the fans loved it. And as long as Bryson keeps being the entertainer that he is, I'll touch on that later, for why I said entertainer. As long as he keeps doing that, Liv's Golf is going to keep pushing. They're going to get to the next level. They're going to bring in more money. They're going to be able to spend more money. And when they spend more money, they get better players. They get more players. PGA needs to be on the lookout for this, because as long as Bryson's doing what he's doing, John Rahm, Brooks Koepka, they go out, they win a couple events, especially they win a major or two. They make this thing interesting. Liv Golf is going to keep growing, and they're going to keep getting fans. So keep an eye out on it. Congrats to them. Again, knocked it out of the park this past weekend. I think Liv did everything well except for one thing, which was Greg Norman being an idiot. So Greg Norman wants to maybe be the CEO and just sit down in the chair and enjoy the event. Don't put on this charade next time. That would have been a perfect event for them. But it is what it is. Let's move on. We got golf news this past week. I'm going to knock this first one out real quick. PGA Travelers Championship was halted on the final hole of regulation due to protests, which turned out to be climate activists. The group that claimed the protests said they are not protesting any person or organization, but the protest highlights the importance of climate breakdown. That's all I got for you. Go read about it, go look it up, go watch the videos. That's all I got for you. I have nothing else to say. I'm here to read the news. I'm here to give you guys updates on things that happened in golf. So I read it to you. I gave you the news. It's now your job to go look it up. Go formulate your own opinion on it. I don't have one. Next thing pisses me off a little bit because it's something that I should have put on the sheet last week. The actual comments and the thing that it is doesn't make me mad. I'm mad at myself for not putting this on the sheet last week. I completely missed it, but Bryson had some comments last Monday on the Liv and PGA merger. Again, this happened the Monday after he won the U.S. Open. I completely missed it. It's completely on me. I'm an idiot. Didn't put it on the sheet last week. So I'm going to give it to you this week. But, yeah, this is what he had to say on the Liv PGA merger last week. So you can go and say what happened in the past. You know you were part of the reason, ... Let bygones be bygones and go figure it out. End quote, new quote. Let's figure out this amazing game that creates so much positivity and get it back to where it belongs. He's not wrong. I don't know who he's speaking to. I mean, let's be honest with you. I don't think it matters to who he's speaking to. He can be speaking to the PGA. He can be speaking to the Liv guys. He can be speaking to the higher-ups at the PGA. He could be speaking to the higher-ups at Liv. It doesn't really matter. Everyone was at fault for what happened. Everyone was at fault for the trash talk that they were giving back and forth, talking about how Liv is a joke, about how PGA sucks and they're not treating their players well. Like, it was back and forth. Everyone was talking shit. So, at this point, everyone was at fault. everyone was the problem at that time. So he's not wrong. Let the shit go. Who gives a crap about what happened in the past? Let's get this thing figured out. And let's push forward. Let's make golf the best game that it can be, which I think this merger needs to happen for it to be the best game that it can be. Because the next quote that I'm going to give you from BRYSON is exactly what I think the game of golf needs. They need more of this. So, what he said was, all I want to do is entertain and do my best for the game of golf, execute and provide some awesome entertainment for the fans. From at least what I can tell, that's what the fans want and they deserve. He is an entertainer through and through. And the easiest way that I can compare this and the easiest way I can explain this is go watch Tiger Woods. I'm not saying that they're the same golfer. I'm not saying that BRYSON's even a decimal as talented as Tiger Woods was in his prime. What I'm saying is BRYSON is as entertaining as Tiger Woods was in his prime. Tiger Woods was entertaining because he had emotion. He showed his emotion. He had that passion, and he showed that passion on the course. Like, that's why we loved him. That's why everyone fell in love with him. That's why golf became as big as it was. That's why he was able to take it to the next level. Because he showed that passion, things that people had never seen before. No one saw that passion before. Go to BRYSON. Before BRYSON, was there really anyone that showed as much passion as he does? Was there anyone that pandered to the fans that he does? Not since Tiger. Like, maybe John Daly. Like, I don't know if I would say that he showed passion or panders to the fans, but, like, fans loved him because, like, I don't know, he was one of us. But, like, BRYSON shows that passion. He is an entertainer through and through, and then a golfer. Like, I truly believe that he's an entertainer above being a golfer. Like, so, and again, I think the game of golf needs this. So, and that's what LIV plays to. LIV is all about the entertainment. Like, yes, they're giving great golf also, because BRYSON's playing great. You have John Rahm, you have BRYSON, or you have Brooks Koepka and all them. But, like, they're really more about the entertainment aspect of it. Which is, again, that's why Greg Norman walked onto the course on the third hole. It's a whole entertainment thing. I'm sorry, not the third hole. On the 15th hole, par 3. Granted, there's a fine line to walk, and Greg Norman was a jackass and walked over that line. But outside of that, I think LIV is doing well with the entertainment thing of being an extremely entertaining product. And again, it's not always focused around the greatest golf. It's focused around entertaining golf and the players being entertaining. They have to be good golfers, but they have to have some passion, show something. And again, that's where the PGA doesn't have that. They don't show any of that. So hopefully, you know, with this merger, you get a mixture of the two. Hopefully you have the PGA who comes in and maybe tones down some of the stupid things that LIV does, like Greg Norman doing that. But hopefully LIV comes in and kind of, you know, gives them some insight as to why they do some of the things that they do. And maybe they can take it, you know, take a little bit from each other and create the best product that we can see. Which is, again, you need a little bit of stoic. You need a little bit of that. But you also need a little bit of the entertainment. You need to find that fine balance. So it's like you have the Scotty Scheffler, who's, as great as he is and as much as I love him, the most boring player in the world to watch. And then you have the BRYSON, who is so entertaining and so beloved because of how entertaining he is. You got to find a fine line in between the two of them. You can have both. Have them go head to head and, like, it's entertaining and whatnot, but, like, it can't be all stoic and it can't be all entertainment. So hopefully we can find that fine line. Hopefully there's a merger here to where they can kind of figure that out and find where that happy medium is. I don't know. I'm hoping that in the next couple of weeks there's some sort of news to report on. I haven't heard anything on this front, but I just figured I'd give you what BRYSON said. this past week. So let's move on. We're going to move on to the most popular person in America at the moment, which I could be wrong, but I'm 99.9% sure I'm not. The Hawk Tuah girl. This meme is all over social media. This video is anywhere and everywhere. You cannot go on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X, whatever it is that you're on. If it's a social media site, you're seeing a video of this girl. Whether it's the actual video, whether it's a meme, whether it's a recreation, it doesn't matter. You are seeing this. It is everywhere. It's only 5 days old, and it has taken over everything on social media as well as in sports. If you don't think, or if you don't believe it, go watch Bryce Harper's double celebration this past weekend. He hit the Hawk Tuah. It's insane how much this has taken over the internet and America in just 5 days. And it's evident because it has also taken over golf. It's become the new mashed potatoes for golf. And for people who don't know what mashed potatoes is, basically when someone would hit drive, like someone in the crowd would scream mashed potatoes, go watch the Live Golf. Go watch some of those videos. They ain't saying mashed potatoes anymore. They're screaming Hawk Tuah. This thing is everywhere. Personally, I love it. I think it's hilarious. I thought mashed potatoes was idiotic. I thought it was stupid. I think this is the funniest thing because I think the memes are hilarious. I think the original video is hilarious. This girl, again, has become literally the most popular person in America in a 5-day stretch. Like, I love it. I understand that there's a lot of parents that are probably sitting here and like hate this because like their kids are gonna hear this or their kids are gonna see Bryce Harper hitting this celebration and they're gonna be like, oh, what's that mean? What is that? And like then their parents have to sit there and explain it. I understand all that, but this shit's funny. Like, go watch the videos, go watch the memes, like go watch all the edits and everything. Absolutely hilarious. You can go on a 3, 4, 5 hour rabbit hole on TikTok just watching all these different Hawk Tuah things. Like, I love it, but again, it's taken over golf as well as every other sport in social media, so get used to it, go watch it, and go just go learn about it and figure out how to explain it to your kids before they hear it and ask you and you're blindsided. So, all right, let's hit the last thing in golf news this week. I'm going to ask the same question that I asked last week. What happened to Nelly Korda? 3 cuts in a row now. She's missed 3 cuts in a row. She's the world number 1 still. There was a moment earlier this year where she had a chance to set the record for most wins in a row with 6 and 6. She ended up losing that 6th one and winning 6 out of 7. She won the next one. She won 6 tournaments out of 7 to start the season. She's missed 3 cuts in a row now. What happened? Like, I don't know. I sit here, I look at it. I have my theories. To me, it's one of the most interesting things I think to look at because we're talking about a world number 1 here. Like, we're not talking about a Phil Mickelson, a Tiger Woods at the end of their career right now, where it's like, oh, they missed 3 cuts in a row, and it's like, yeah, they're also 90 years old and, you know, have terrible backs because they've been in car accidents and beat up by their wives and shit. Like, no, like, we're talking about a 25, 26-year-old, I can't remember exactly how old she is, girl who's in the prime of her career, who's the world number 1 right now, and has missed 3 cuts in a row. This downfall needs to be studied. Like, what happened? And I can't put a finger on it specifically because, again, I don't know her. I'm not in her brain. But if I'm looking at it from the outside, the only thing that I can see and the only thing that makes sense to me is exactly what I said last week, which is the par 3, number 12, U.S. Open. I believe it was number 12. It could have been another hole. But it was par 3, U.S. Open, first round. Hits a 10 on par 3. She's never recovered from that. She didn't recover that tournament. She didn't recover the tournament after, and she didn't recover this past tournament. She is not recovered from that. That's the only thing that I can envision. That's the only thing that I can see that it's like, oh, maybe that created a mental block for her. Maybe that created some doubt in her head that you're not as good as you thought you were. Maybe it created doubt to say you have, like, there's this hitch in your swing or something like that. Maybe it jacked up her swing because of that. I don't know. Maybe, you know what, that 10 on that hole, and she ended up shooting, what, like an 82 that day or something like that. She hasn't swung 82 times in a day or in a round in probably 15 years. Maybe she hurt herself. Maybe she hurt her backswing that many times in a round because she doesn't do that very often. She's not usually shooting 60-somethings. Like, I don't know, man. Like, maybe she's hurt. Maybe it's a mental block. I really don't know. It's the craziest thing. I don't understand it. There needs to be a study done to see where this downfall happened. Because, again, we're talking about a player who almost won 6 out of the first 6 tournaments. And even though she lost one of them, she won 6 out of the 7 tournaments. She won 6 out of the first 7 tournaments. Like, what are we talking about? How did she miss 3 cuts in a row? 2 of them being majors. And the worst part is that the upcoming tournament this weekend is a team tournament. Hopefully she plays in it. Hopefully she can get her head right. If it's her head that's an issue. If she's hurt, hopefully she sits it out. Maybe she can get it right. But she only has, what, this weekend? And then 2 weeks after this weekend, it's another major. She's playing another major. She only got 3 weeks. She better figure it out. I don't know. We'll see. But if I'm close to her, I would be studying this right now because this is a historic downfall in my opinion. I don't understand what happened. I don't understand where it came from. Nothing makes sense. None of it makes sense to me. But all right, let's move on. Let's get this thing done. It's getting late. So let me give you guys last week's picks. I'll give you the points gained, and then I'll give you the upcoming events as well as our current picks for this upcoming weekend. So for the random last week, they had Martin Kamer, Fireballs, Lilia Vu, and Patrick Cantlay. They got 15 points. Cantlay was top 5. Lilia Vu was top 5. Fireballs was top 10, which gives him 4 points, and then Martin Kamer made the cut, which is 1 point. So that's a total of top 5. Or I'm sorry, 15 points. Mark had Colin Morikawa, Nelly Korda, Ripper, and DeChambeau. DeChambeau was top 5. So that gives him 5 points. Nelly missed the cut. That's 0 points. I think Morikawa was, what, top 10, something like that? Yeah, I think Morikawa was... No, Morikawa was a top 25, so that gave him 2 points, and then Ripper was a top 5, which gave him 5 points, right? No, that's wrong. Sorry. Morikawa was top 15, which gave him that gave him 3 points, and then Ripper was top 10, which gave him 4. That might not have even made sense. I don't know. I can't remember how the math worked out, but basically he ended up with 12 points for this past weekend. And then for me, I had Ludwig Eiberg, Lexi Thompson, Crushers, and DeChambeau. Crushers, DeChambeau, both top 5. Lexi Thompson was top 10. And then Ludwig made the cut, gave me 15 points. So for the season, the random person, who, again, I just pick a random person that I know and just ask them, make some picks each week. The random person is at 31 points. Mark is at 38 points, and I am at 39 points. For the current picks for this week for the PGA, let me give you guys the upcoming events, sorry. So, upcoming events this week, you got for the PGA, Rocket Mortgage Classic, Detroit Golf Club, Detroit, Michigan. And then for the LPGA, we have the Dow Championship, Midland Country Club, Midland, Michigan. Dow Championship is a 144-player, 72-team tournament with alternating rounds of alt shot and best ball. First of all, both of these tournaments are in Michigan, so if you're in Michigan, go watch one of them. I don't know how close they are. I don't know how easily it is to access both, but like, I don't know, go watch one day and go watch the other the next day. I don't know. Go support the women. You know, they deserve it. Back to the LPGA. If you don't understand what alternating alt shot and best ball is, first round is alt shot, second round's best ball, third round's alt shot, fourth round's best ball. If you don't understand what alternate shot is and what best ball is, go look it up. It's not that difficult. It's pretty self-explanatory. But go look it up if you're really that confused. I just wanted to make sure that you guys understood that it was a team tournament because there is going to be 2 names on our current picks. Okay? All right. So, yeah, current picks for this week. Random. Robert McIntyre for the PGA. Cheyenne Knight and Elizabeth Skoskull. I jacked up that name, I'm sure. I don't know. Like, some of these names are just, I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm sure I jacked it up. My fault. Whatever. That's who the randoms got, though. Cheyenne Knight and Elizabeth actually won this tournament last year, so it's a good pick by them. Mark took Patrick Cantlay and Brooke Henderson and Lexi Thompson. 2 of the best players in the world are the 2 of them. Lexi's also retiring, so I'm sure that she wants to get one under her belt now. She wants to get another win. So she's going to be putting her best foot forward on every single event. So good pick there. Patrick Cantlay. I mean, a lot of people are sitting this tournament out for the PGA, so Patrick Cantlay is a great pick. For me, I took, for the LPGA, Esther Hensley. Dude, I don't know. She's German. I should be able to read that name, but whatever. I'm sure I jacked it up. Again, I'm sorry I jacked it up. Her teammate is Gabriella Ruffles. We know why I took that pick. Like, Gabriella Ruffles is going to be the Rookie of the Year. Probably my favorite golfer at the moment. Tried to get her on the podcast. Didn't get an answer back, so someone tag her in it. Someone get me able to talk to her so I can get her on the podcast. But I have those 2 winning it. And then for the PGA, I got Miles Russell. Miles Russell has been the top performing amateur at every event that he's played in this year. So he just became pro this week. So I think he's going to win his first tournament here as a pro. So hopefully he does. We'll see. Again, both of these tournaments are up in Michigan. So if you're up in Michigan, go take the time, go watch them. If not, watch them on TV. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, follow, check out the Instagram. Go follow Mayor Golf Academy on TikTok, and we'll see you guys next week.